Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ron's Crypto Therapy. So, I want to give a quick update on Bitcoin. I talked about it a little bit in the video I put out over the weekend about market cycle, but just what we have been saying for the last couple of weeks basically finally played out. Um, the premise has been that, from the start, this is a bullish head and shoulders on the weekly. That's a very big pattern, and it broke through. It broke through that head and shoulders with one. This is actually one of the strongest candles in Bitcoin's history, believe it or not. And trust me, I went back and looked, and you got to go back to like this one right here at this on the run up to the bull run. That one was close too, and really you got to go back like 2018 to find a candle that big with that much of a percentage, and that's when the market cap was lower, like these candles over here. So don't underestimate how strong that candle is. It is one of the strongest candles in Bitcoin's history. There's you can either look at it by percentage wise or by the amount of money that it went up, because those way back to the left, they were the market cap was a lot smaller then. So this is arguably right here one of the strongest candles in Bitcoin's history. So anyway, you had that breaking out of that head and shoulders, and then you had follow through after that. You didn't get rejection, dump down. This is a bear doji, but on some exchanges that's green. And either way, that's the like best kind of bull flag you can get, is when you get like small follow through after a strong move up. And then we did get a move up. It still kept going up, and then it kind of settled into this wedge pattern. And a few weeks ago, I said, when we were like over here, I said the question kind of was, all right, you need 3 pushes down for this wedge. Is this one, two, and then is this the third, and it's going to be like a double bottom wedge, or are we going to get another leg out to this trend line and 200-day moving average? And you can go look at the video. I said that I thought that was more likely, and it could range out here, and I used this tool right here to draw something like this and said it should converge right here at the trend line. The 200-day movement average most likely also come down and fill this gap, and it did all those things. So you got this nice falling wedge coming off of a bull flag that's one of the strongest candles in Bitcoin's history, along with a bullish head and shoulders. That's 3 patterns right there. That's 3 bullish patterns on higher time frames. And like I said, the trend line, the 200-day moving average, this weekly candle. I told people over the weekend, late last week, this candle was bearish, because obviously at some point, it was red and all the way down here. As it started to come up and have a wick, I told people, I said, if this closes as a pin bar on the weekly, but especially a bullish pin bar on the weekly, buy. And that's exactly what happened. This is a perfect pattern playing out. I mean, a falling wedge, bull flag, all these things I said, and you get this reversal candle here. You have all this confluence going up. And I asked some people that were saying down, like, what are some things that they thought for down? And one person told me that it was in a channel, and that they thought it just was going to keep channeling down. And I mean, that's something. I mean, there's always going to be a bull and a bear case, but it just looked to me that the bull case was really mounting up. We had already taken out this high over here. I've talked about that as well, to potentially go up higher. We'll see. I'm not ready to say just yet. I would like to just see this wedge play out, come up here, and maybe make a double top, and we'll just have to see how the price action is. And when I say like how the price action is, what that means is how aggressive is the move up? Is it gonna be like bull candle, uh, bear candle, bear candle, bear candle, going all the way down here, and then some bull candles, and the leg up looks very rangy, full of bull and bear candles. Um, and maybe even kind of, as it ranges out, forms a wedge. Then that would be the kind of setup I'd want to short. A double top where the right side is a wedge is one of the best setups that you can have. But now, if it's just kind of an aggressive move straight up, strong candles, bull flagging, small pullbacks, it'll still probably get stopped at this level initially. And then what I'll be looking for is, okay, is it testing that level a lot? Smaller time frames? Is it keep tapping it and knocking on the door, or is it like more like this, like it goes up, touches it, down, you know the and it's a long time in between touches, instead of something like where it's constantly touching it and wicking up through it and things like that. So those are the things that I'm looking at when I talk about. I'll just have to see how the price action is and why. And I don't want to say before these patterns start to form and make blind predictions about where price might can go. So anyway, it's looking good for the time being. Really nice reversal pattern here. We'll see if it sticks and just continues with the bullish momentum, or if we get some bear candles and some pullbacks on the daily. And even on the daily, I believe there was a nested wedge inside the bigger wedge as well. Yeah, the 3 pushes, 1, 2, 3. So you had a nested wedge in here as well. But we're gonna look at OMI really quick. I'm not gonna get too into depth because what I had said about OMI, I said it back here late April on Danny the Bull's live stream, that this zone right here, that if it comes down in this zone, that it's probably a good place to buy OMI. And I said that because this wick came down, and this is a daily chart right here. But if you go to the 15-minute, that wick's basically the same. That shows very, very, very strong demand. And I've talked in previous videos why I thought that this level was a level that price could hit anyway. So I actually missed the limit order by like 0.00007 of price or something like that. I just barely missed it on Bit4X. If I had it on this exchange, I would have got it on Gate.io. But anyway, and when price, keep it simple. When price came down in this range, if you bought, you could have made a 10% gain every time it came down in this zone and came up. And it's in this zone now. Now, everybody wants to know what's it going to do now. That's all good and great, but, maybe I didn't buy back here and sell for the 10% and did that 3 or 4 times in this zone, what you could have. And I'm pointing that out because that's all that it really gave you here during this time period. If you bought here, you could have hit a decent move up to here. But as it retraced down, that was really all that it was giving you. In this zone, buying that zone and sell it, maybe 10% higher. But where can it be going from here? Now, the main pattern that I see forming here is a descending triangle. Let's see, maybe even, yeah, like that. And so it could range out in this for a little while. And if this does play out, say we get a measured move out of this triangle, say breaks out over here, then that puts us at 0.00004, which a lot of people have called for. And now it breaks to the upside, say it breaks like here, close to around 8.0. Look over, we all know that's a level for OMI, so that would maybe push it back over 8.0. So at some point, a pretty volatile move should happen. That's the main pattern that jumps out to me, but there's some other things going on here too that could play out as well. This I don't love, but I guess you could make a case for it, that you have a head and shoulders going on here. And if that were to play out, so you dump somewhere around there, that gets you down into the 4s, but not as far. So that's a possibility also. And another possibility that I potentially see forming is that maybe OMI could be making a falling wedge also. Something like that, or even coming off of that one, possibly a bigger falling wedge that could take even longer to play out, and it could extend for a while. But if it's this smaller, the first pattern that I drew, I think that would be a little more likely, and you could still have some more legs and it could come down a little more. So in that case, because the falling wedge is bullish pattern, obviously, price going down for OMI would actually be, kind of a good thing, that it could go down here in this falling wedge formation. And just say it did come all the way down here, well, that would be great for OMI from a technical analysis standpoint, because you'd be making a wedge double bottom with this wick over here where you had huge demand, and then you let price bleed down here in a tight trading range like that, and you could get a parabolic breakout out of that. The same principle I talked about is a bearish case if the right side of a double top is a wedge. The same thing for a double bottom, and that makes it even better in my opinion that there was such demand over there at that time. So that's a possibility that it could play out and do that. I would still say that that descending triangle is probably the main pattern, and whichever way it breaks out of that will be the move that'll happen. So anyway, that's all for BTC and OMI. Tomorrow or the next day, I'm gonna try to put out a video about some good small cap projects and that I'm invested in with low market caps. So I hope everybody got something out of it, and I appreciate everybody for who watched and tuned into the end. Thanks. Later.